This is going to be the late video of Paw Patrol, the one I was wanting to make. Paw Patrol and Mighty Pups. It's one part of their franchise that I think I like a lot, and I think a lot of people like it a really lot. I can't talk right now. Basically, it's the story where the Paw Patrol pups get superpowers. I believe it's one of the first movies made from Paw Patrol, and I watched it when it came out, and I enjoyed it. Now, Paw Patrol does have a little issue where they didn't know what Mighty Pups lore was canon, or at least didn't know what to make canon, because the movies and the episodes are completely different from each other. Let's start out with the movie. The movie was a standard plot of Chase, who felt like he wasn't a good leader. Then suddenly all the pups got powers, and then it was a heroes versus villain plot where one of the villains got powers, and that the pups had to stop him, and they eventually did. Now, the movie made it clear that the meteor gives you powers based off of who you are, because the pups got powers based off of who they were, and the villain got powers based off of who he was. That's how it worked. And at the end of the movie, they put the meteor away, saying that they didn't know when they would need it again. They would just keep it safe. Now, that's the first ever time they made a Mighty Pups animated series. It was a movie, but it's animated. I can't talk right now. But then, after a little while after that, they made episodes, and these episodes changed the way of the Mighty Pups' powers, where it only had the powers of the main six inside of it. I know, My Little Pony reference. And when the new villain, Copycat, tried to get powers, he got powers of all the main six, which means it only adds that. I believe the villains got other powers too, but they're just the same as the Paw Patrol pups. I mean, one of them got the ability to fly and be strong, so it's the same as the others. Basically, it only had those set 6 powers, which is kind of weird because it goes against their original canon, where you get powers based off of who you were. Now you get some powers based off of what pup you're most like. I believe there's 2 characters that were the only ones in the series that actually got unique powers, Tuck and Ella. And I actually liked that Ella got the power to be really giant, because it's kind of rare for the girl character to get the stronger power than the boy. Especially if they're siblings, the boy will usually get the stronger power. But I think that making Ella get the stronger power and making Tuck have to be small was a good choice on their end. It really was. It changed stereotypes, and I liked it. But they were the only 2 that ever got unique powers, and it was just kind of disappointing because Copycat could have been more dangerous. He was not dangerous at all. They defeated him very easily. It would have been cool if he had this power to mind control people, because then some of the pups could experience a mind controlling plot line, where they would have to be under a spell, and then everyone's like, oh, they're acting kind of different today. It's cool. It would have been a cool plot if that was made. But Copycat's kind of got the most generic powers ever. He was not that much of a cool villain as the others. I mean, his concept was cool, but nah. Now this series, they basically find a way to get the meteor back and whatever, well, back in magic powers, and then they get their powers. I do like that some of them choose to not get their powers at certain times. Only the ones on the mission get the powers. It's a cool little plot device just in case somebody ended up needing to use their powers and didn't have them at the moment. But I don't think that was ever used. Now, this goes against the earlier canon, and it was kind of confusing. It was kind of hard to adjust to, but when I watched it, I eventually got used to it. I mean, I know nobody could ever beat the first movie, right? I mean, that was the best Mighty Pups movie then. The best content of Mighty Pups. Until the movie that came out. The one about Sky. It was recent too. This movie is about Sky, who feels insecure about her size, and she finds comfort in her powers, feeling like she's not the small one anymore now that she could carry whatever and fly and go wherever. And then one part of the movie she loses her powers, and then she's insecure again and tries to go off on her own to find it. I like this story because it changed how it used to be. Usually Mighty Pups was a chase thing, and that's not necessarily bad, but I believe it fits Sky a bit more because she could go through the whole insecure plot, and they did it well. Plus those movies, the new ones, are a bit more mature as in emotional wise. It's not always relying on the power of friendship like it does at the end, but you get to see the characters struggle and have doubts in themselves that are not generic, oh, I'm not a good leader, oh, I can't do this, but they end up doing it better than everyone else. It's actually a doubt that's true because, sometimes they're not going to be the strongest, or they're not going to be the biggest, and they're going to have to work around with the doubt, and I like that a lot. It's also cool that it was, mainly the girl characters were the focus of the series, Sky and Liberty. And Liberty had a good plot line. She wondered what powers she was going to get since her powers didn't work yet. Until the end of the movie, when she uses her powers, she can actually grow, super long. It was good because Liberty's always felt, insecure about if she truly meant anything to the Paw Patrol or not. And seeing her unable to get powers at first kind of worked well with her insecurities. It challenged her, and I like that in the series. Well, in the movie. Now, these are all examples of how Mighty Pups changed. The rules for the movie were basically, if you wear the crystal, you get your powers, but if you take it off, your powers are gone. And I actually like that plotline because it's more high stakes. Imagine if they did have the right power to complete something, but then someone takes it away from them and they can't use it anymore, and they have to find their crystal, which basically happened in the movie. It's cool whenever the power is not in the person, it's on an object that the person has that gives them the power. I know this is all a kids show, but yeah, we can analyze kids shows, can't we? Basically, the Paw Patrol Mighty Pups has been going through different forms of canon. I believe they are all canon to an extent, but they went through different forms, definitely. And unlike what I would say before, usually, I don't think this is necessarily wrong just because they don't really have a canon. I think it's not necessarily wrong because it's a kid's show. The audience is not going to care. If it was not a kid's show and they kept rewriting canon, then that would be a bit disappointing because then we're we need the actual plot that we came here for. But since it's a kid's show, it gets a free pass because its audience is not really going to care about it. They're just going to watch it and grow out of it. But I honestly think that the best canon is probably the movie, because the newest movie that came out a couple of years ago, I believe. It's the best canon version of the Mighty Pups. It has way more conflict and also could be used for good certain episodes if they ever wanted to make an episodic series of it. I mean, just imagine what they could do with now having to wear the thing for your powers. It could make them deal with even more insecurities. Anyway, that's all. I wanted to make this video analyzing a show I used to watch. I don't really watch shows anymore. Only recently I've decided to watch stuff again. Just because I was busy making comics and other things felt like competition. So I didn't. Anyway, I probably missed out on a lot of stuff. Hope you enjoyed this overanalyzing kids show. If you want more, tell me. Goodbye. Have a good day.